saying something into it.
OMG. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Maybe I want to wear my glasses on the pod. I don't think maybe.
Whoa, those are sick glasses, dude.
Thank you. I have them on like every day of my life. If I lost them, I'd be devastated. Hello. Hey, it's Bella. I can not really hear myself that well.
Try and turn I don't mean this condescendingly, but try and turn the mic on.
That helped. Okay, yeah. Just even now I can kind of hear myself, but I feel like I could hear myself a little better maybe. This is such a great setup. On my podcast, we just yap into a karaoke mic that doesn't actually pick up audio.
Is that right?
It's true. It's totally for visuals. It's like
that is funny because I watched all of your podcasts.
You watched my podcast?
I sure did, dude. All right, we're good. We sound good. Yeah, dude. Of course, I watched it.
I'm honored. I am honored. I worry no one watches it.
What do you mean? You can look at how many people have watched it.
Yeah, those are just ghosts though. Like I don't feel like anybody actually watches it.
It's not
That's like my mom 53 times. Whoa, JK, my mom doesn't watch my podcast. Hold my hoops. My earring just came out.
So you're like, all right, you get how this whole thing works, so I'm not going to explain it to you.
I do know how the pod works. You just
Exactly.
I love podcasts. I need to edit. I have 2 episodes on deck for mine. One from January. I took that right before the Hab, and I was like embarrassed because I was so fucked up with banishment on that show. So I didn't want to edit it and watch myself.
Wait, you were fucked up on the pod.
On my own pod. I mean, on a lot of the episodes of the pod.
Yeah.
Let me
you
take
can
off
get
my shoes.
You can get as
little
comfortable as you want. I like to
Okay.
sit cross-legged eventually if I can.
can't let the whole world see my cooch. So I'm going to sit like a mermaid.
Yeah, that's smart. I did a podcast the other night with my wifey, and I was wearing these really tiny shorts, and one of my testicles was hanging out. So I don't know. I'm like, I guess she was like, just put like a smiley face over it or something. No, but I did watch your pod. Honestly, my favorite was I first watched. By the way, this is Bella Robb.
The East Coast edgelord to some.
That's right. That's right. I'm glad you said that because I didn't have that loaded up, but that's important.
Yeah, that's my internet
Yeah.
alias, I guess that's what we'll call it. That's my show on YouTube. And maybe we'll share the reels to my page and that page. I'm like, maybe we'll share the reels.
Yeah, if you want. That's up to you, you know what I mean? You don't have to.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want everybody to enjoy the
post
podcast.
I just went straight to YouTube. I didn't look at the East Coast Edgelord Instagram. Was
Yeah.
that my mistake? Should I have gone there first?
No. The YouTube helps the most because then you see the views go up. You can subscribe there. The Instagram is mostly where I post clips of the show that I also share to my main profile because my main profile is where the followers are. And like, I just think most
main profile?
Yeah, like Bella Robb.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying you had multiple YouTube accounts. I
No,
was like, I
no,
only
no.
saw one. Where's the other?
I made my main YouTube account that one, but if you really scroll down, you can see like my Disney vlogs, like from a long time ago, and some
I went
projects
to
from school.
I watched a couple where you were a news anchor.
Yeah.
Was that initially what you wanted to do?
Mm-hmm. My
That's
degree
funny.
is in journalism. My
I know,
bachelor's
but
degree.
like, I think I knew that, but like, I didn't imagine that translated to you wanted to be like a news anchor. So specific.
Yeah, I went to school to do that.
Did you want to do what kind of journalism?
So I found my way into sports journalism because there was like a real need for #women in sports.
Whoa,
and
interesting.
I had a great time in college, like getting to travel with the football team. And I edited like our school's newspaper, the Parthenon, every single year. I just kind of found my niche in sports, but I also covered like local life, some politics, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got out, I didn't really know what to do. I took the LSAT, accepted my seat at Temple Law, moved to Philadelphia, then started my podcast once I made friends in like the local hardcore beatdown scene.
Yeah, because I saw you posted one that was with a band, right? Or a couple with the
Yeah,
band?
I've got most of the shows are with bands, and I've got one with Crime Slug and one with Banishment waiting to be edited. The Banishment one was back in January. I'm just gonna post it with the disclaimer now, like I've grown. And then Crime Slug, I need to edit it.
Are you
He
just
actually was
embarrassed
like,
of the fact that you're visibly intoxicated in
oh
it?
yeah, I'm like visibly intoxicated and drinking, and we're like smoking. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy episode, and those are my really good friends too, which is fine. But I think they're low key mad at me because I've taken so long to edit it. They're like, "Where's it at?"
Dude, people don't understand though that I mean, also like I'd like to point out that you're like making fun of it, but you had some for like a new podcast, you had significant amounts of views. Yeah, dude. No, it's like that's hard to do. I mean, because it's just like you're putting something out there into the world, and you're going, I hope.
Yeah, that's why I need to edit it because when I post things, people really like them. Like people
Yeah,
like my posts.
right.
It doesn't matter usually like what I put online. It's usually received pretty well. I think like right before I got sober though, I was like running wild with it and posting some really crazy stuff online. Like the Mercy Blow challenge, I just got my guitar. I was like holding it upside down and I was like, "We're in Jersey, boo," cuz like me and this dude who like originally did it. This is like such deep hardcore lore. We like
Yeah.
low key like it's not even real beef. I met him like 2 summers ago and like he wasn't very nice to me, boo-hoo. He like made a song with Crime Slug, and so I was just like,
I love these that you're using these names of bands that I'm like, oh, okay.
you're like, okay, who the hell are these
What
people?
is a
I'm like,
crime slug?
oh my gosh, Crime Slug's like this new like slam project from this guy in
Also, what
North
is this?
Carolina.
I shouldn't ask too
Slam,
many
it's like,
questions.
and it's like,
Do it again. Oh yeah. Now I get it. Is that like the vocals?
yeah,
Oh, okay. So it's like scream metal.
no, it's more like,
What does scream metal sound like then? This, I love that you could be lying to me. This
I
could
know.
just all be made up.
swing high, swing low, swing chariot.
That's one of the songs they do.
No. No, I'm like my newest vocal stem is like the Chelsea song. Me and my brother went to go see the FIFA Club World Cup this weekend, and I heard
Yeah,
like
that's fun.
blue is the color, Chelsea. Wait, no, football is the game. Something Chelsea is our name, winning is our aim. Like what? Wait, no.
Get
Blue is the color, football is the game. We're all together. Chelsea is our
the
name.
Yeah, dude, I love that song.
I do too. And I'm
Yeah.
like, did Glenn Campbell sing this? Like, it's so fun.
Who is Glenn Campbell?
I think he sings Rhinestone Cowboy. Like a rhinestone cowboy.
You have a crazy bank of references.
I know. I think I'm like very neurodivergent, but I'm like a hot girl and people don't like notice all the time.
People don't take that in. They're just like, look at that
They're
hot
like,
girl.
she's so whimsical, manic pixie dream girl. My brain is literally like,
Yeah, you're thinking about murder at all minutes of the
I'm
day.
not. Murder is not on my mind. All right.
What's
Actually,
like
though, this guy, this 40-year-old felon from AA, was like trying to 13th step me, and I cut things off over text.
What does 13th step mean?
So there's a 12-step recovery program, and 13th stepping is when you try to like wife somebody up with like no time sober, and you'll have like multiple months or years even, and you're like, let me fix you. And like,
Oh.
yeah, he was like buying me stuff and like, I don't know, love bombing me really bad. I'm like, what my brain is like, my addict brain is like, what can I replace with like,
Yeah.
And so the
I thought
dopamine
one of the
from being
main
love bombed.
tenets of getting sober was that you weren't supposed to date anyone.
The
in
first year.
I thought it was just ever in the program.
Well, there's a lot of people who date in AA for sure, but they have like more time than me. I had 75 days, which was the longest I'd been sober since I was 14 years old. And
Yeah,
then
that's
I had a rough
what is
May.
that? That's like 3 months.
It's almost 3 months. It's like a little over 2.5 months.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yep. It was
that's like significant.
it was a lot. And then I had to go do some research in May and figure out I actually like really enjoy being sober, and like I feel like I don't have to be sober now. I get to be sober. The first time I was like white knuckling it, like fresh out of the hab, like, oh, this is my life now and I don't get to smoke anymore. Like now I'm like, thank God I don't have to be reliant on substances.
Yeah, what a freedom.
I feel untethered from like all chemical comforts. It's just like, this is my life now and I love it.
Do you still drink coffee?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like there's a fair amount of coffee at AA meetings.
I mean, the coffee, that was my first commitment in AA, was making coffee for the meeting. But like,
Oh wait, what? I've never heard about this. So you make are you allowed to talk about this stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. So in AA, you make a commitment. That means you participate in some way.
yeah, if you chair a meeting, that's a commitment. Like I
Okay.
commit to chair the Monday meeting or something. I don't yet. I don't have enough time.
So they're asking for you to bring some level of responsibility.
It makes you feel like important to the community, and also like I've got to show up because I said I would do this, and it's like it helps you and
Whoa.
other people, because then they're like, thank you for making coffee, and it's like a gratitude thing. It's just like I feel
That's
like you relearn
so
how to be
smart.
a human.
Yeah, I never knew that about it. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. And I'm excited because this October, I'm already straight edge because I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I don't have casual sex. But I'm going to claim edge for official, like X up on my hands. Right now, I just wear the swatch face on my watch face to remember.
What is a SWAT? What does that mean?
The swatch, that's the straight edge watch. It's like
Oh,
I don't
oh,
have
yeah.
a real swatch, so I just set the background to my watch as the X. But it's a true reminder, like if I feel like messing up, it's like a promise I made to myself, and it's a public commitment to, like, setting this example of like how life really can be. I've seen the other side,
Yeah.
and for me, it's
is,
just not for me.
Is this like something that's becoming more and more prevalent in the hardcore scene?
It's not always been around. I don't know like the serious history of straight edge. I feel like it's like maybe like 80s 90s it got bigger, but there are straight edge bands, and it's like,
Well, yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, it was there was a lot of sober people because of Minor Threat.
yeah, that's where it started, was the
Yeah.
song, I think it's called Straight Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fuck.
Yeah.
There's 3 things that are really important to everybody else, and like, yeah.
So you do have sex, but not casually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now I feel like I don't have sex because I am not dating anybody. I have
Yeah.
thought about
Well,
it.
because you can't if you're not having casual sex, you're not going to be having sex if you're not in love. then.
Yeah. I think that guy was really mad at me because I didn't sleep with him.
Which is weird because like
I know,
also,
right?
like,
It's like, you're
especially-
40. Get
Well-
over
well,
yourself.
that-
He lied about his age. He
How-
told
and
me he was 36.
You're like mid-20s, right?
I'm 24 years old. I turned
yeah,
25
That's way too young.
in August. I know.
40 to 26.
It's not the half your age plus 7 rule. It's not even that. And like, he lied about his age, first of all, and we'd already been on a date. He was like,
Wait, half your age plus 7.
that's the acceptable rule for
Okay.
age gaps.
Okay, yeah, go. Gotcha. Half your age plus 7. So say he was 46. That would mean 23. So he would have had to date someone in their 30s, like 30, 31.
27 is the youngest he should go
Mm.
morally. But he just doesn't care. It's fine. He's been talking shit about me in the meetings. I'm like, pull up. me like trying to fight somebody who's been to jail multiple times. Like,
But also, like, what are people doing making drama in a space that's supposed to be a space of healing? That's crazy.
sick
to
and
me.
suffering. People are fucking sick and suffering.
I just can't fathom. I want to just say this. I think it's crazy to pressure someone who's in a space of healing to move faster through physical acts. That's crazy.
I know.
Like,
Okay,
especially-
I was like
obviously it's
DTF
always-
though. It's not like I was like, I don't feel like I was like coerced, because like I was like, nobody cooks here. You're familiar with my work. Nobody cooks here. Like
What do you mean?
like it's like that meme in Breaking Bad where he's like, someone's cooked here, like in his
Oh, okay.
lab or something. And no, I
Right.
say like nobody cooks here, as in like there's no action here. Like, I sleep alone and all this stuff. So I was like, I don't know, seeking dopamine, seeking something. So like I was down. Like it wasn't like I was like,
You were flirting.
yeah, like I was definitely engaging. Lying about your age isn't cool though. I didn't care for like 3 days, and then I ended stuff over text, and he just like sent me 19 text messages and like all this shit. It was crazy.
Isn't that always such a when you end things with someone, whether it be a friend or a potential lover, and then they send you 19 messages?
I know. The first
you
one
know
was,
you will.
are you kidding?
Yeah.
That was the first one. I'm like, makes me want him back.
Did it?
No.
Is that? Do you have a type? Is your type like?
Oh my God, it's crazy. So like, I have come out as a lesbian multiple times. I've like accepted that I'm a
When
lesbian
I first
multiple
met
times.
you, you were
I'm
saying you
still
were
a
a
lesbian. I'm literally still a lesbian. And I think I suffer personally from compulsory heterosexuality because of where I was raised. It's like unacceptable to be gay.
That term is so fun. Compulsory heterosexuality.
Compet for short.
Compat. I love that.
Yeah. So like I
Let's get
feel
into the culture.
yeah, like it's easier to date men. It's more financially like smart, I guess, to date men because
Sure.
they pay for things in this patriarchy. And like talking to girls is also very scary. And like I especially now that I don't drink, like I feel like I don't get to like experience like a lot of like queer spaces in the same way. Even when I did drink, I like had a hard time navigating them because all I cared about was getting fucked up. But
Yeah, that's
it's like
when you're in a space purely just to get fucked up, you're not really participating in
that
the
was me all
culture.
the time. Me when I couldn't even do a stand-up set. But like anyway, so I don't know. Like I feel like I haven't really like given myself a chance to like meet like my type in women. Like I think like right now I'm in my like femme for butch like mindset.
You're femme, you're looking for butch.
Yeah. But I've dated other femmes exclusively. But I've like
Huh.
since I've been in Philly, like I've had like more like physical relations with butches, if that makes sense. I didn't have
Yeah.
that in West Virginia. There's not really like wild butches walking around. Like
Well, Philly is interesting because I think that there's some aspect of that southern thing, but it comes out in a northern way. For example, they almost want lesbians to have the binary here, and it makes more sense. Like there are a lot of butch lesbians here because
I love
of
it.
that.
I'm
I mean,
literally
if
so
it works
into
for
it.
you, yeah, that's great.
And so Philly has more poly people than I've ever met too.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with it.
But I also think like
outgrown.
culturally that's changing. There's more and more of that like widespread in the US right now.
Yeah. I'm
Maybe not in West
personally
Virginia.
aggressively monogamous. However, like I'm cool with poly people.
Would you not, so you wouldn't date someone in a poly relationship? What if you were monogamous with one person in a poly relationship?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
It
okay.
really does. I can't say yes or no right now because, like, if I met the right person, maybe I wouldn't mind. And if I was in, like, a lesbian polycule, maybe I'd be okay. But, like, men being polyamorous, actually, men doing most things kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I've like talked to men and, like, I haven't dated a guy since my, like, ex dumped me 3 years ago almost. No, it's been 3 years. It's 2025. But like I feel like I get frustrated with like having no bitches being like bitchless, and then I'm like, oh, it's easier to date men and like they find me hot, so
Right.
I guess. And then I get the ick like when things start to like kind of get serious.
Right.
Like I was talking to a guy for 3 months, and then June 1st Pride Month rolled around, and I was like, oh, I can't do this.
June 1st Pride. Oh my God. You were like,
I literally snapped out of the sunken place.
you were like, oh my God, I'm not straight.
No, and it's like embarrassing to. I couldn't be seen with a man. The huzz cannot see me with a man.
The huzz.
The huzz.
What's the huzz?
The hose.
Dude, you have so much. I feel like just like I'm 36 and you're 24.
That's how old the guy said he was. He lied.
36 is like, but still, like, think about the generational differences just between us. You have so much slang. I'm like, what are you talking
You're
about?
like, what are the huzz?
Yeah.
My wifey though.
Yeah, wifey's a lame, dude. I can't think of. We're not actually married, but what's the better term?
It's
Partner.
cute. My ball and chain.
Yeah, my old ball and chain, dude. I love having a loving relationship. It's a very special.
You're one of the few people in comedy who has that. I love seeing people start open mic comedy and then like lose their relationship within 6 months.
Dude, I mean, my girl does this podcast with me a fair amount, which is crazy. And sometimes I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? It's like I'm like, I can't process that she likes to do the weird shit I like to.
No, it's fun. I love any sort of media content creation.
Yeah, that's a good. I wanted to talk about this. Like, do you consider yourself like you're a podcaster or internet person first, then comedian, or how do you grapple with that in your head?
Okay, so there's like a few people in comedy who are like also very much internet people, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm friends with the other internet people too.
You mean like Griffey Cohen?
I was literally thinking about Griffey.
Yeah, I
Griffey,
was
here
just-
you are on another podcast, baby.
Yeah, I don't know them at all, but I love Akash, who was just did
Akash.
yeah, who just did the newest reel with Griffey. So
Yes, yes. Griffey's literally my best friend. Like
is that right?
straight
Cool.
up. We met at Rotten Rouse and instantly vibed.
So you're saying though that kind of person, an internet person, is who you're gonna bond with predominantly.
It's not always that way because Sarah Hansen's also one of my best friends, and she's like not as like internet driven. Definitely more like IRL comedy driven.
Right.
I don't know. Like I love the open mic. I had like an internet following before I started open mic comedy in Philly, but I started doing
What
stand up comedy in 2017 at summer camp.
what kind of internet following did you have though? Like
Journalism,
Okay.
content creation. Like I make,
but not like specifically being funny.
yeah. But I've always been like goofy online. Like that's always been
Well,
like a thing, and being
you're-
very like authentic online.
I hope you don't think I think of this as the highest compliment I could give someone is you've always been a weirdo.
I'm so weird. I know. Like
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Like those old I was watching those old podcast they weren't podcasts, the old journalism videos you made, and I was laughing so hard because I was like, I don't know that she knows she's doing a bit.
Oh, I know. I mean, my whole life is a bit. Who am I?
Yeah, right. Like where do you stop and the bit starts, you know? And I think that is always something I'm intrigued by people like that.
Yeah,
The weirdos of the world.
it's interesting. I have no explanation because like I don't know anything else.
Except being you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I had no success in trying to fit in when I was a teenager or a young adult in my sorority.
I love that image. You pledged?
Oh yeah, I didn't just pledge. Well, yeah, I pledged. I was initiated. I lived in the house for 2.5 years. I had
Wow.
a total of 4 littles, one at the end, and then a grand little. I had 2 different bigs. I still talk to a lot of girls from my sorority. One of them actually like she didn't follow me to Philly, but she like goes to Rutgers Law now, and so she like followed me to Philly. Like it was inspiring, I think, to like see me
Wow.
move up here.
So, but you never felt like you fit in.
I always like find the other weirdos. Like I fit in with the other weirdos who are gonna do their thing and like be themselves. But like
How do you
like
define that though?
I also like don't fit in with like big lesbian. That's
no, of course
I
not.
have a hard time with that. So that's
Because
like also
you're not categorically really gonna want to be contained by anything. Would be my guess.
yeah. I think that's why it's hard for me to like marry a label. Like, but I just like I'm at the point in my life where like I feel like
A
it'd be
label for what? For
everything, like
for
just
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
But also
okay.
like it's my identity crisis too, and also none of it matters. But I find like a lot of comfort in lesbianism.
In claiming that you're gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. Like there's a lot of women that'll say they're gay, and then there's a lot of women that really want to make sure they use the label lesbian.
Lesbian. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's more you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gay too, but like, I think that I care a lot about like lesbian history and like the culture. Like, I'm culturally very lesbian,
Yes.
and I think that's what guys like about me, low key.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm like palatable to them or like digestible to them because I'm like high femme, but they don't understand I have that dog in me like that.
That you are on some level still into like you're 50%, or maybe not, that's not the right number, but some percentage of your behavior is gonna be masculine stereotypically.
I don't even think it's masculine. Like I don't know. Like I do think I do have that dog in me. I guess that's kind of masculine. Like my interests being like death metal and like I don't even know. Like
Well, that's a
playing
heavily-
sports and
I mean,
like
comedy,
yeah,
podcasting,
podcasting. Like
doing
I literally have like all like traditionally like male interests, but dressed up in like
yeah.
a high femme costume. And like they
You're
say
almost like a drag queen.
yes. They say this is like amazing that you say that because
Yeah.
they say that like high femme lesbians are closer to doing drag than they are to like being like the traditional idea of woman. So like it's
Yeah.
performative femininity, and that's like what it's always felt like to me. But I personally like love performing femininity.
Yeah, that's cool. I think I'm also into
Big part of my brand.
I'm into the idea of just anyone being aware of the societal structures that we exist within. Do you know what I mean? Which is what you're saying. Anyone who understands that their gender is a presentation, which to me, I choose this presentation.
Yeah.
But does it identify who I am at my core? Probably not. But
Yeah.
but it's like it's sometimes you just choose the presentation that feels best to survive in the world.
I love being a woman personally. Like
Yeah.
I love how I present and like I feel like if I was like trans or non-binary, I would lean as far into it as I do into being a woman. Like
So
I
you
have to
would
do it
up your
100%.
presentation of non-binariness.
Oh yeah.
Binariness.
Yeah, and like because I feel like I'm so high femme, I've thought like do I transcend like womanhood? But I definitely don't because I like personally like interact with the world as a woman. I understand my privilege as like a pretty girl or whatever and like
Sure. Yeah.
yeah. And I use it to like uplift those in the lesbian community who don't like appreciate the same privilege as me.
Right. Like if you're gonna present more butch or something,
Yeah.
then it's nice to have someone around who can kind of help you hide a little. Is that what you mean?
Um I don't
Or
know.
protect maybe?
Yeah, like it's like a dynamic and I don't know a ton about it. I need to finish reading like the Stone Butch Blues, but like when cops would like invade lesbian bars back in the day, like
That just I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at
they
that. But
would.
I know, but
They would
that's
strip women down
crazy.
because of the two-piece rule. You had to be wearing two pieces of clothing that were like assigned to your gender at birth or whatever the fuck. And
How
like
recently was this?
this was I mean I don't know. I'm not good with dates, but like I'd say like 60s, 70s, 80s, not the 90s. I would say not the 90s,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah, because I was just talking to someone the other day about the
three-piece
Stonewall riots and how recent it was.
yeah.
It was only in like the 80s. I think it was like 82 or 83.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Stonewall riots were when the drag queens, the cops came in to raid a gay bar in New York City.
I've been
And the drag
Stonewall
queens were the ones who were like, fuck off and stood up. It's like pretty badass.
Yeah.
It's real
Trans
punk.
women and like
Yeah.
all that jazz. Like we have them to thank and yeah, no, there's definitely like a sense of like protection. It comes from people who like aren't seen as more traditionally masculine because society will listen to us. Like they'll listen to me. They don't always take me seriously, and that's because of the compet. Like sometimes I don't take myself seriously. I'm learning in my 12-step program like self-abandonment is really something that I struggle with because it's like if I don't immediately get the gratification I want, well maybe I'm a fraud or like maybe this is easier and I should just chill.
Say that another way. What are you talking about?
Like I feel like this is just me being like a fucking femcel, but like when I don't get like the satisfaction I want from like the dating apps, like if I don't have any good conversations going or like if there's nobody I really actually want to go on a date with, sometimes I turn the men on just to see.
Oh,
And then I'm like,
see.
what am I doing? And then I like end up talking to some dude for 3 months and all this shit.
And that's how you get stuck back in the
It's a brutal cycle.
Compet.
Compet. I don't think people talk about it enough. And like, it's very like shamed and looked down upon in some spaces. But I think I'm from like the rural South, I'm from Appalachia. It's not really the South. It's this other third thing. And like, people were really homophobic where I grew up. And like,
You grew up like really rural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were 240 kids in my graduating class. And like, I grew up in an unincorporated town, like a sundown town too.
What does a sundown town mean?
Black people aren't supposed to be there after sundown, historically.
But like that kind of energy remains.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
even if it's still not allowed, it's still happening on some level.
Yeah, I love West Virginia. It's trying its best, but it is behind. Like I'm not going to sit here and say it's not.
Well, I think I was just talking to who was it? Maybe it was Mama Ye who was on the podcast. And I asked her if she'd ever been to rural. I used West Virginia. I was like, "Have you ever been to rural West Virginia?" And she said no. And I was like, "That's America."
Yeah, it's the salt of the earth.
I always am so. You ever have someone go, "This is my buddy. He's salt of the earth." I'm like, that means that guy's a racist. Absolutely.
I don't even know what salt of the earth really means. I just hear people describe where I'm from as salt of the earth, so I will repeat it because I'm a little parrot.
Yeah, same. But okay. So I want to get back to though. You were talking about how you don't want a label, but do you see yourself as like an internet personality? Like, how do you perceive your character? Or is that not something
It's
you want
not
to
a
say?
character.
Okay, yeah. I guess that's fair. I shouldn't say character. But like, what do you think about like trying to achieve something? Are you like, I'd love to be X, Y, or Z? Or is this again like I'm trying to push you on taking a label that you don't
I
want to
want to make
grab?
friends. I feel like I like I'm still kind of new to Philly. I hope to like meet more friends through like making content online. I've met most of my friends through like making content online and
Wow.
AA and comedy, like the open mic. But like yeah, a lot of friends I made like just they like see my reels or something and they're like slide in the DMs. Then we become like Instagram friends. Like I'm friends with people like in hardcore in Baltimore and in
Whoa.
Long Island and stuff. Like mostly like it's weird. I found like this niche in like metal and hardcore podcasting comedy and like just I don't know doing my thing.
I get okay. I guess that's like a cool way to think about it. You already kind of know your audience or where
I
you
don't
are.
know. Like my audience is mixed. It's a mixed bag, but that's what I like talking about.
Yeah, is metal. And do you play music?
I have a guitar. I bought the guitar in January and I try to pick it up every day. Recently, my apartment's not been that clean, so I feel like I don't deserve to pick up my instrument when my apartment's not clean. But me and my friend Claire cleaned it today, so I'm going to be picking it up again soon.
Dude, that's so relatable.
Yeah, it's like I don't deserve these
Why
creature comforts if I'm living in squalor.
the language that we use to talk to ourselves is so intense. Like why are you telling
No,
yourself you don't deserve stuff?
it's
Like
true.
imagine if you heard some like I know I'm using something people talk about all the time, but you hear someone out in the world tell your friend they don't deserve a coffee. You'd be like, "No."
Yeah.
You wouldn't let someone talk to your friend that way.
I know, yet we'll talk to ourselves like dogs.
Oh, all
Actually,
the
I'd
time.
never talk to a dog the way I talk to
Oh
myself.
my
Be like,
god.
you
Yeah. Do you have pets?
Yeah, the wizard.
The wizard? I've never
Yeah.
seen photos.
Okay, so Beanie Baby was my soulmate.
Oh, okay. You got a new
I
cat.
did get a new cat. Beanie Baby died a few months ago, and it was the saddest thing of my life. I will never get over it. I have 2 tattoos for Beanie. Her name is right here, and then I've got the Thai Beanie Baby logo here.
That's a great. I like that tattoo. It's like a subtle reference. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. She changed my life forever. She was literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. And
What do you think was so important about having a pet?
oh man, she wasn't just a pet. That was my family. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was my baby. Like she knew how I felt all the time and responded and
Yeah.
like she was just always there and she was so silly and like just such a good cat. She never misbehaved. She did destroy a few pieces of furniture, but it just didn't matter. Like I was never mad. I was just like that is my cat. Like this is her house too and like if that makes her more comfortable like it's just things. I didn't care. Like that cat could drive my car.
Do you think that part of but like what was so important about having a family?
I moved here knowing nobody. I
Okay.
had nobody. And me and my parents got into this volatile fight when we moved in. Well, like when they helped me move in. And I
Yeah.
didn't talk to them for a few months. And I
Right.
adopted the cat without telling anybody. And I really didn't have the money to do it yet. And I was just like such a whim, but I just needed something. And I also struggled with suicidal ideation for a very long time. And the day that I got Beanie was the day I was actually going to jump off the roof of my building. And I was walking home from therapy. It was a terrible session. I just ended up like not talking to my therapist anymore after that, ghosting. And I walked into like accent on pets or accent on animals or something like that. And I got the things necessary for a cat. I was like in this fugue state. I knew I didn't really want to die. I think a lot of people who have been suicidal can relate. It's not really wanting to die. It's just like wanting to like escape your current situation.
Right.
And
You don't want to be dead, but you don't want to be
alive in your
the
current state.
Right. It's the last choice you have. in
Yeah,
the current state,
everything
yeah.
felt awful. Like I had something really traumatizing happen to me when I moved here and like law school was really hard. It's still really hard. I actually dropped down to part-time and I'm taking an extra year to graduate, which is so good for me. I felt shame about it at first, but now I get an extra year to be a student, pursue creative endeavors at the same time and not feel so much pressure to keep up with this classwork that I wasn't doing enough for. I'm doing the course load that works for me and my schedule and like things have been going really well for me, like comedy, like online shit and like just being myself. This growth that I've seen as like a 24-year-old. I'm so different than I was when I moved here and like I feel very like nurtured by Philadelphia. And so I just feel like I'm living my life to the fullest now and like I'm meeting myself where I'm at. I'm not experiencing burnout anymore. But Beanie like saved my life. I think that's why she was so important. She symbolized like so much more than a cat. She was like a new beginning for me.
I think that a lot of people's first pets, maybe that story is on some level like it's so specific, But I think for many people, that first pet is so important.
She was everything, and she got me out of bed every morning. Like,
Hmm.
I had to take care of the cat, and it led me to take care of myself. And like, I didn't live in squalor because the cat would have to live in squalor. And like,
Right.
yeah, and
Yeah,
now I keep
it
everything
makes you
clean.
have to exist outside yourself, or that's why I like having pets. I mean, we have two dogs now. We've lost a couple, unfortunately. But I'm only sharing that so you know that I've experienced it. Like
It's so hard.
we had a Chihuahua. I literally keep talking about her on podcasts. And I'm like, well, because I'm still thinking about her. She passed away when she was only 5, which is very young.
Beanie was young. Beanie was only like 6 or 7 or 8. We
Yeah,
don't know Beanie's exact age. She could have even been 9 because she was a
right.
stray, and then she was brought into the shelter, and then I rescued her.
Yeah.
She was brought in like multiple times too.
I always think though, like in those situations, I can't help but just I'm always like, well, dang, did she have a good time?
Oh yeah, I only had Beanie for 2.5 years. Best time of my life.
Yeah.
Best time of my life. We had so much fun. She flew across the country with me.
No way.
Yeah, she went to my nana's house. Everyone in my family loved her. She was hilarious. She used to like jump on everything, and like my family was like not a pet family like that. But she slept in the bed with me and Nana. I'm like country. Me and my Nana, like, even though there's 4 bedrooms in our house, like we sleep in the same bed when I go home.
Oh.
I just want to be close to her.
To
She's
your
like
to your
86.
nana.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I think that being able to have just speaking of like important relationships, I think being able to have a relationship with an aging person that you love, like old, like 87, like
Yeah,
your
she's
grandma,
old.
dude.
We were
What a
FaceTiming before I got here.
what a fantastic informative experience though.
She's been through a lot. She's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, think about what was happening 87 years ago when she was born. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Her
She
life
tells me she used to go out dancing all the time, like that people
Mhm.
would dance before school in the gymnasium in their socks and all this stuff.
Come
And she's like,
on.
we would go dancing after school. And I'm like, Nana, do you want to see my new pit moves? And I'll like show her my spin kick. And she's like, whoa, we didn't dance like that. I'm like, yeah, we hit each other too.
Dude, I love this. Oh, so here's something I think about a lot with people that age is it seems like obviously there's infinite options, but it does appear that the two options are that you kind of go into yourself and get sad, or you go, life was a gift. And it sounds like she has that one.
It's both.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's both. It's been sad. Hopefully, Nana, sorry for exposing you. Like, what are you going to do? You can't even work YouTube that well, so you probably won't watch this. But, like, I found journals, like, after her husband died. It was just like, I want to die. I want to be with my husband. There is nothing left for me. My grandchildren
Can
have
you
moved
imagine
away.
how long were they together?
That is her second husband. They were together. I mean, that's my mom's dad. They got married, I think, when they were, like, 26. So, and he died when I was 12. So a long time, decades.
Yeah.
Like 40 years probably.
40 plus probably.
Yeah.
How old's your mom?
My mom is almost 60 years old.
Not to
Born in
expose her.
1966.
Yeah. Wild. Yeah, I think that's to share a life with someone in that length is a remarkable experience.
Yeah, and you know what? She's always like, I loved him so much. They fought like animals. They were so awful. Me and Nana, like, I remember, I'd be sitting at the bar stools in the kitchen, and he'd be like, "Can you make me a tomato pie? Can you make me cod later?" And
Yeah.
she'd be like, oh, "Stupid man!" Like
Yeah.
she was just like,
Yeah.
it was like this, like, Muriel and Eustace from Courage the Cowardly Dog. It'd be like, "Stupid man!" Like,
Yeah, we went to see the orchestra last week at
she misses him though. She loves him, but
I-
like it was just how old people were.
Of course, yeah. No, I mean, I was gonna say we went to the orchestra like last week, and there was all these old people there, and they were all just bickering the whole time with each other. I saw one. The husband went up to the bar, and he was like, "I'm gonna get a Chardonnay," and she's like, "You're not getting a Chardonnay. You're gonna get a Truly," and whatever. And then couldn't find his wallet. I love it though. I love old people.
Oh yeah, I do too. It's amazing. My grandfather, we were never that close. I was pretty young when he died, and me and Nana got closer when I was like in high school. For whatever reason, one day I think my frontal lobe just started forming. I'm not done cooking yet. It'll be done when I'm 26, I hear. But
That's
like
true.
I
Yeah,
started
it's
just
like
talking to
25,
her
26, yeah.
like a normal person, like one of my friends. I didn't really see her or my parents anymore as like this looming authority figure. I just started talking to my Nana like we're talking now, and that's just been us since. Like I tell her my lore. She knows what lore is. Like
That's so fun.
She's so cool.
But also, I think having a granddaughter that's willing to share her life with you as an 87-year-old, how cool is that?
I tell that woman everything. I tell her everything, just a whole lot of nothing. Like I talk to her literally every day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it was 87 years ago. She was alive during World War II.
1938. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the U.S.
Yeah.
and she grew up near Pittsburgh.
Okay. So she saw the invention of she probably had, when she was born, they probably had at least a few animals that they had on their property.
No, she never had pets.
Really?
She grew up in Star City, Morgantown. Actually, it's a really small like coal mining town.
Oh, okay. So like a coal mining family.
Yeah, my grandmother's father was a coal miner, and her uncle moved here. Like my family moved here to start coal mines, and like
From where?
they were actually in the Doylestown area before this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So they moved here to start coal mines. That's something I'm glad I don't have to do. I guess you still do that. People still mine coal.
There's not that much like work in it anymore. It's really dangerous.
Yeah.
My dad works at AEP, and he's told me about efforts with that company to like retrain out of work coal miners to work on Boeing airplanes. And it's like, oh, we're leaving one dangerous industry to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm proud of him though. My dad rocks. He's like the American dream for real.
Oh, really? Okay. How so?
My dad was a lineman when I was growing up.
What is that? That's like stringing the power lines, right?
He like would climb poles. Like
yeah. So that's like you got to be a little bit of a gung ho about life.
Yeah. Well, he just like needed a good job. He went to Tech and played West Virginia Tech and played basketball. My mom was a cheerleader at Marshall, and then at West Virginia State they met playing college sports.
Come on, that's so cute.
I'm the only person in my family who wasn't a college athlete. Both my brothers were, just not me. And
they're like, oh no, what's this one?
No, I'm the most athletic one. I just didn't want to get drug tested by the NCAA.
Oh, that really?
No, that's really what it was.
Oh my gosh. Well, it sounds like I'm glad that you're dealing with this then.
I know. It's like, I'm telling you, like 75 days was the longest I'd gone since I was 14 years old when I first got introduced to like marijuana, acid, alcohol, Adderall. Like I just was doing anything.
Did you have like a favorite?
Oh yeah, the Benjamin.
What's that?
The dab pen.
Oh.
I couldn't put it down like that when I so I had the 75 days. I relapsed, and then I like ended up buying a pen again. And I just like, I could quit drinking a lot easier than I could quit smoking every single second of my life. Like it was like a vape. Like it was crazy. So that's why I had to quit cigarettes and all nicotine too, because
it reminded you of that same
every
action.
every time I smoked a cigarette, I was like, oh, pot tastes so much better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and so I just had to stop everything, and my life was unmanageable. It's like you cannot get this degree that you prayed for and like pursue your dreams in comedy. I would be just too high to even think of good jokes or interact with the audience.
But what's your what was your sport though?
Oh, cross country and track.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I love running. I just ran a 5K on Saturday, got under 26 minutes.
See, I think that's a good place.
With no training.
A good place to put that. You have those intense feelings. I think a lot of people who stop drinking or drugging, drinking, I know you do
all
both.
of the above.
Yeah, all of the above. It's good to have something that makes you still feel a little intense, right? Like
yeah.
running. Like you can sweat, you can go, it makes you get out of your head a little.
Life is the trip. Like my brain is like always doing something, or like I feel like there's a constant dialogue happening, and like I'm not bored. Like I think it was a combination of loneliness, and that's how I made friends in high school. Like I was friends with the other kids who were doing drugs.
Right, you were like, you want to smoke weed with me?
Yeah, I got invited by the cool older kids. I was weird and black, and nobody wanted to hang out with me. And
until you started doing drugs.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, she'll try anything. Like, oh, let's invite her to have more people here or whatever. Wow. And then I started dating a drug dealer, and it was just a mess.
That's always a slippery slope.
It was a disaster. And like I feel like this is like, I finally had that wake up call when I was going to kill myself. Not the first time with Beanie, but like this winter. It was a disaster. My grades were failing. and I thought I was going to drop out of school, and I was scared, and I was too scared to tell anybody what I was doing. Like, addiction and isolation are together, but connection and recovery are together. Like, the opposite of addiction is connection. So when I started connecting with other people and being honest for the first time,
Like about how much you were using.
oh yeah, and just like how I was feeling when I was doing it and just everything like that, my life instantly got better. Like, in
So what would you do when you were just by yourself? Like you're just literally
smoke all the time, drink all the time.
But like were you trying to, I guess I'm saying, were you doing anything or you're just sitting?
Sometimes I'd clean up, play with the cat, like watch TV, like
Right.
scroll online, a lot of social media time. Like, my screen time is still crazy. I average 11 hours a day on the screen,
Oh my God.
and like sometimes I get up to 13. It's crazy.
Are those glasses, are those like blocking, light blocking? Does
No,
that help?
this is just like my look.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to call it out. I do. Those glasses are sick.
Thank you. They're from Free People. I got them in high school at the Disney Springs Free People.
That's dope. I
And
like having
my dad
stuff.
bought them for me.
I mean, I guess I like having stuff for a while. I don't like getting new stuff.
Oh yeah, these, like, I need to get a glasses tool and like tighten them up. If these ever broke or something, like, I would take them somewhere to get them professionally fixed. These are
Yeah.
like a staple of my wardrobe.
I
They're
like
either on my
having
face
things.
or on my head, like, all the time.
Yeah. Is it? Do you keep clothing until it just basically disintegrates?
Pretty much, unless
Yeah.
it's just not fitting how I want it to. Like, when I got sober the first time, I gained a bunch of weight because I just was like, cupcakes, like
Yeah.
whipped icing, like,
No, that's. I think that's a valid thing. Like if you gotta eat a bunch of sugar when you're getting sober, do it.
a lot of people do that. This go around, I've been like, let's get on the hookup apps, but I haven't met up with anybody because I'm also like, who am I? And like, I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm weird about it. Like, I've been wanting to talk to people about coming over, but then I chicken out and whatnot. But I've been like feral this go around. Like, I don't know, but I think that
What do you mean feral?
feral, like
Well,
DTF.
Oh, you mean like you're trying not to hook up, but you're feeling feral?
I did want to hook up, but like, truly, like, I don't know. I'm like, when I like get into something, I have to 100% do it. Like, I'm not into the casual sex stuff. Like, I can't.
I think that's a generational shift that I think has its benefits, right? Like I think millennials, we were very into casual sex. That was like something if you were cool, you were into casual sex.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of glad that, like, I think you should be into casual sex if casual sex is good for you.
I think it's also because I'm gay, and like, I feel like I've had like very meaningful relationships with men in the past. Like, the guy who dumped me 3 years ago, like, I thought, if we'd never broken up, I would probably be married and in Charlotte right now. That was my
Right.
plan. Then he dumped me, and I like had this eat, pray, love moment, moved to Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great, I think that breakup move.
It was, and like, I talked about this with my brother. It may have been, I don't really believe in an interventionalist God,
Right.
but I'd like to use the term, for lack of a better word, divine intervention, of being like, live your own life, get away from this man who's 6 years older than you. It's always like older dudes too. Guys my age don't really like fuck with me like that.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Maybe they like know I'm a lesbian. I don't know.
They're reading you too well.
I know guys who are older are like, let me take care of you, young dyke.
Yeah. Do you like someone who's going to take care of you like that?
Sometimes I think that's why I like want a butch girlfriend.
Okay, but I need to understand, if you don't mind talking about this more. Like, if you're in your apartment, you said you're isolated, right? A lot of
yeah.
addiction is isolation. So in this isolation, is it that you don't think about connecting with others? Is it that you're so satisfied with just that tightness of your life?
Embarrassed about like,
The state?
yeah, the state I was in. Like, I didn't want to shower. I didn't want to get ready. I didn't want to leave the house because that would require me taking care of myself.
You don't want other people to see the degradation you're doing to yourself.
Yeah.
I got you.
And also, like, I only wanted to hang out with other people doing the same thing because they understood the rot. And
right, like it's like
yeah.
how you get those.
I felt like a burden to other people, and then other people weren't doing the same thing as me. Like, they didn't want to get hammered or like get high out of their mind.
Right.
They wanted to actually like have a conversation or like go do an activity. And I'm like, ooh, can't smoke there. I only wanted to go to McGlinchey's, the bar McGlinchey's, because you
I
could
don't even know
smoke
what that is.
inside.
Oh my God.
That was the only bar I really messed with at the end, because like I just wanted to smoke and drink and be in the dark and hide.
There's certain kinds of.
I went there as soon as I relapsed that night.
No.
The first night I drank again, I went there and I was like, ugh, my world is so small. I've got to get sober again. It took me a whole month to really get it again.
Oh, because your world starts to tighten so much that like the only people you ever interact with are people at that bar.
Yeah.
Oof.
And like my world was like Prunella, McGlinchey's, home, school for only the amount of time that I had to be in class. And then I'd immediately leave. I wasn't talking to my classmates. I was too embarrassed to like check in with the people, the adults who cared about me. I was just too ashamed. I didn't want to be honest with anybody. I've told all the adults in my life like what was happening, and I have been met with nothing but love and support.
They're like, welcome back.
No, seriously. And
Yeah.
like I think people could tell something was wrong, but they weren't sure what, and they didn't know like what to say.
Were you I'm so sorry I'm asking so much about
Ask away.
addiction. Oh, okay, cool. Were your parents aware of the depth of it, or is
No,
it
they're not here.
so they couldn't see it from? So
I
yeah.
just texted them enough to make them not concerned, but they saw me on Life 360, like being out really late at the bars every night, and they'd be like, "Go to bed," like, you
What do
know.
you mean on your 360?
Life
Like,
360. My parents track me.
what do you mean?
They're like, "When you pay your own phone bill, we won't track you anymore."
Dang,
Old school.
I've never even heard of being like an app that tracks you.
Yeah, they track me, how fast I drive, where I'm at.
Do they do this to your other siblings?
They used to do it to my middle brother. My oldest brother's 12 years older than me, so no, they don't do that to him. But my middle brother, they used to until like 2 years ago when he took them off because he does pay for all of his own stuff now.
I mean, I'm that's a pretty intense, but I gotta say that their rules are fair. They're like, if you get off it, we'll stop tracking you. And you're
Yeah, they're like,
"Oh,
as long as I'm
dang."
paying for the phone, I want to know where the phone's at.
Yeah, I kind of see where they're coming
Imagine
from.
my dad being like, where that phone at? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
him.
bet. Is that what he's like?
Yeah, no, he's awesome. My dad is literally the GOAT. My mom is also pretty goated now, but our relationship wasn't that good for a long time.
I
Since
think-
I've gotten sober,
yeah.
we're all like, kumbaya.
That makes sense. She was just worried about you.
Very worried.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I would be worried too. When I like talk about things with my mom, she's like, and I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. She's like, would you want your cat doing all that?
Oh, I mean, yeah. And you're like, no.
No,
I don't want my
I'm like
cat
her
to do
baby.
that.
Like they don't understand. I'm like the 24-year-old East Coast edgelord.
They don't get what it means to be the East Coast edgelord.
They don't, and so like they just see me as like a baby still, and they like hear about their baby doing all this like hood shit, and they're like, oh my god.
Did you? I liked when I was younger, like early 20s. I just liked to be in kind of gnarly situations, and I
The
don't.
counterculture, whatever it was.
Yeah, I just wanted to be, and I'm not saying like there's. One time I went. I've always worked in restaurants, and I went with some line cooks to another line cook's house, and it was like a drug den, and it was like there was just drugs everywhere and guns and like other types of weapons.
I used to live somewhere like that
Yeah,
with
okay,
my
so you-
ex-boyfriend.
Isn't that like I think about that and I go, what was I doing there?
No, I know. I was holding it together too. I was student body treasurer. Like,
And then, but
in a
then you'd go
sorority.
back. You'd be like, you're like at school, and you're all like pronounced or
when,
like
yeah,
proper.
it was the duality. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like, there were
Yeah.
two versions of me, and one was very important to never cross with the other.
I always think that.
And then I lost control of that balance when
Yes.
I got a little bit older because it's unsustainable and it's
I
not an
just-
honest life.
I just can't fathom trying to exist just to accomplish anything well or successfully in the world and live in a space like that. Do you know what I mean? Like that is
I thought I was
very
like
impressive.
the next great American author, and like I self-published a book when I was in high school. Like I was always like an
Oh, you
overachiever.
were-
I was Charles Bukowski. I was Hunter S. Thompson. I was the Age of B
Oh.
poetry.
That I didn't
I had
know
this
that about
raging
your
sick
story.
ego, like all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean the issue too is that name a great writer, and I do have one, but name a great writer just off the top of your head who exists in a loving and kind way to themselves. There aren't that many examples.
No, unless they're like writing self-help books.
Although I will say that two of my favorite
That's not home.
authors, Toni Morrison, one of my favorite authors, and Zadie Smith, both of them lived nice lives. And so there are examples, but most of the terrible examples are white men.
Yeah.
But we all iconicize them.
I've got like almost everything Charles Bukowski has ever published at my house.
Yeah. Do you still like his writing, or does it not appeal to you so much now?
Hard to answer that. Like some things, I annotated the book "The People Look Like Flowers at Last." That book of poetry is probably my favorite. But Women, Ham on Rye, Post Office, like that kind of stuff doesn't really hit the same.
Wow. I haven't read really. I find his energy to be so intensive.
He's nasty.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's literally nasty.
I could never really get into him, to be fair.
I don't know. Okay, so two things. I love this tattoo with the three-eyed fox.
This one here, yeah.
Yeah, I just love all your tattoos. And
Thank
the
you.
second thing is like, I don't know why I was waiting for you to like separate your big toe and the middle toe and grab the cord with it. Like,
Do you want me to? Would it make you feel better?
yeah, this is a feet podcast now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm so agreeable.
That's funny. Why are all guys foot guys now? I get a lot of like feet requests.
Really?
I thought about getting a foot tattoo, but then I'm like, if times get tough and I gotta sell feet pics, I don't want them to be so recognizable.
Right.
My feet are low key gnar sometimes, though. I had to cut my toenails today, and there was like one toenail that was like split. I had to like cut the part of the toenail like before it was even.
Oh.
It was
How
gnar.
did you do that? Do you stub it?
No, I don't know. It's just because I'm an athlete, I guess.
Oh, well, you know why? Because you ran.
Yeah.
That's what
And the
happened.
friction with my
Yeah.
socks.
Yep. I'd love to have a sport. My sport is skateboarding. I've decided it's a sport.
It is a sport, and my ex is a semi-pro skateboarder,
Is that
and
right?
I can low-key shred on roller skates. I don't know if you've seen any clips on my profile.
No, I haven't.
But
dude.
I love skating, and I
would,
watched yours, and you're sick. I saw that video at FDR Park.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a little better than him, honestly. If you moved to Charlotte, you could probably make it in the semi-pro scene.
I'm good, dude.
He had some sponsorships. Like, you could probably
That's
get on
crazy.
that.
I'm skate weird though, because to me it's almost meditative. So I am very like when I go to a skate park, it's when I'm the most neurodivergent of all of my existences. Because it's like someone will say something to me and I'll be like, skateboarding? Like I'm stuck in it so deeply and I'm not thinking about anything else. I don't know. Do you feel that way about running when you're running?
When I was running this time, I was like, there are no toxins in my body holding me back. I am
Oh.
limitless.
I mean, that is when
I talk to myself when I'm running. I'm like, I can do this. And like,
Oh.
it's all positive self-talk. Like, get up this hill. Like, don't let them pass you or I'll chase somebody down. I'll hunt them down like I'm a tiger.
Whoa, so that's why it's mentally important for you, is it's like a space where you find positivity.
I find a lot of positivity. I had some great running coaches growing up too. Coach Bailey and Coach Ron. They were awesome at Winfield. It was awesome. I hope they never watch this podcast because I'm talking about all the drugs I did in high school and stuff. But
Yeah, but I think it's important that people understand that there's the people you should be the most worried about are the people who can drug hard and keep it together.
it's scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I had to keep it together. I was too embarrassed about what I was doing, but it was also like
Yeah.
I am so maladjusted. Genuinely, I'm so maladjusted that it's like started to work for me. It hasn't just started to work for me. I've been able to like somehow make it work for me, even though I can't fit in. Like it's like, so I found like where I kind of fitted just with other people using drugs. Like, and so when I lost that, I was very lonely. Like, I think and now I just like engulf myself in like positive things and also spend a lot of time around other people in AA because it's like I'm around like other people who, who are doing the same thing as me and on this journey of self-improvement. But like, I think the first rodeo, I was like too cool for it, or I thought I didn't really belong there. I was just trying to get my life manageable enough so I could smoke pot again.
Well, can I just ask this? Are you someone who has always sought out community, or are you prefer to be by yourself?
It's a mix of things. Like, to be number one, you got to be odd.
Sure. So you have somewhat of that hero's complex, like that writer.
I don't know. Like, I don't conform. I can't do it. Like, I have a hard time. Like,
Yes.
I'm like, why don't I have like a cool friend group? This was also like when my emotional bottom was at Pride. I was like, where's my awesome, cool, queer friend group? And it's like, I'm just my own entity. I've always been a floater. Like I have
Yes.
friends, but I float between friend groups. And so like
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't think it's like a hero complex really. I just like
I was trying to be silly. But
you're silly.
what would the word be that you would want to use?
I don't know. Have you ever heard of an indigo child? I kind of think I might be an indigo child.
No, tell me what that is.
It's like I don't know, like a soul that like is just like stuck on earth, just like here to teach us something. Because I feel like I've survived like a lot of situations. I've never broken a bone either. Like I've never.
Do you feel like you've had a lot of past lives?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if I really believe in them. But like,
yeah, but like, okay, so
my soul definitely has like it has wisdom that I can't explain.
I also think, okay, so past lives to me, I feel like it's obvious that it exists to me. And that's partially because you can look at the genetic code of someone and we carry our genetic code that has existed over time.
When you're in your grandmother, I mean, when you're in
Right.
your mother was also in your grandmother and you were in your mother already. So you have the same trauma that your your
Right.
grandmother had and so forth. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
generational trauma
Yeah.
is real.
So we experience that. So I just feel like we are, even on a very basic scientific level, we are a product of our past. And so to me, like to take that to the metaphysical or the next dimensional place of being like, we do have past lives, because there are things that, like, for me, the way that I feel, this sounds so weird, but the way I feel about eating Mexican food, it's like I'm like, I was Mexican at some point a long, long time ago. Maybe.
You're like, I became the white man, but at one point,
yeah, exactly.
I was a Chicano.
I've
I
never said
remember
it like
the Alamo.
For the record, I haven't said it like that.
This room is electric. I got a laugh on the podcast, guys. Book me. I'm joking. Actually, though, please.
That's actually a perfect time. Let's wrap this thing up. Thanks.
Oh, gee, is it really?
Yeah, thanks for coming in here. I just want to shout out Bella Rob one more time. This is Bella Rob. I think this is something, when we're both weirdos. Sometimes when I first met Bella Rob, I was a little nervous because I was like, that's another weird person, and I don't know if are we gonna fit together? That's the thing about weirdos. But I've grown to really appreciate her type of weird, and she has a great podcast called The East Coast Edgelord. Let's get that shit, dude. Go watch it. It's fun. I'll try and link it. That's a new technological thing for me. So thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you, Max. Thank you for having me. You can find me on Instagram at Bella Rob, Bella R0B. Peace.